Dr. M. Subbiah is an assistant professor in mathematics in LN Government College, Poneri. He has specialized on statistics interdisciplinary. Being interested in active research program and mathematical or statistical modeling, he has knowledge in operating various softwares on statistical tools and on technical computing. Having 16 years of teaching experience, he has published papers in 8 national and international journals and has also presented papers in 10 national and international conferences.
Welcome to UGC lecture series on mathematical sciences. The line of best fit through principles of least square and the idea of finding regression coefficients through which we are able to frame regression lines. So, the topic will be entirely based on the idea of regression. So, basically statistics is a tool or it is a science that trying to form the relationship between the variables. First of all, it will identify and then gives a mathematical formation of the relationship between the variables through various measures. So, if we have a two variable, what we call it as a bivariate relationship, that is what the topic we denote here, which we try to say nature of relationship. So, there are two terms we try to understand whenever we have minimum two variables. So, a bivariate distribution. First of all, the degree of relationship, and second one is what we are going to discuss today, nature of relationship. Degree of relationship is nothing but a numerical summary through which we are able to understand how much the two variables or more than two in fact are related. So, there is a numerical summary for the given pair of data if it is a two variable. So, from this point onwards for this today discussion, we limit ourselves to a two variable distribution. Therefore, we need not say every time it is a bivariate. So, we understand strictly that this discussion will be based only on bivariate distribution. So, with that contention, what are the ways to understand that particular form of relationship? There is a graphical notation called scatter diagram, then there is a principle. So, this is to have a judgment and this is to form a mathematical relation between the given pair of variables. So, principles of least square. So, we will use some kind of simple derivations through which we will be able to arrive what is the nature of relationship and followed by a simple numerical example. These are all the points we are going to discuss. So, as far as the point or two variables are concerned, first of all theoretically or in a scientific notion, there must be a strict relation between the given two variables of study. There cannot be an artificial way of forming a relationship and then portraying a mathematical relation. So, caution number 1 or the important aspect to start this kind of analysis is we consider two variables which are naturally or some theoretical base through which those two variables are identified with a relation. For example, profit and sales, the longevity of preparation and the score in the examination, and then amount of rainfall and how much yield we get, the traffic intensity and the time to reach a particular point. So, they are all somehow related, what we call it as cause and effect. So, if we have more traffic in a particular road that we plan to travel, then naturally the time taken to reach from destination A to B would take much time if the traffic is otherwise if the traffic is not there. So, there could be some causal relation between the variables which may not be typically identified as a mathematical or more precisely deterministic form. So, here I just summarize what we are trying to do now. So, as I told you only two variables, we are trying to get the mathematical measure of the average relationship between two or more variables, which helps to find the nature of the relationship. What we try to say by average relationship? Why? can't we predict or can't we portray a mathematical relation so that it will give the typical relationship. This statistical modeling or probabilistic modeling are interesting or important because these kind of cause and effect relations are not so deterministically derived. For example, if I would like to calculate area of a floor, let us say, then there is a mathematical relation for that. The input will be length and breadth, and I can calculate the area in a more deterministic formula, length into breadth. So, this is also a relation. Area is a variable which related to length and breadth, so that I can multiply through a mathematical relation. So, that is the multiplication. So, that gives the actual value. If you know the value of length and breadth in the typical units, then I can multiply. So, the area will be square of these two units. Suppose I measure it in meter, then you will have meter square as the area, square meters. So, this is a kind of relationship what we call it as mathematical or deterministic relationship, where the given value and the variable of related variable will be deterministically related like this. There are many in science or in any form wherever we are able to find a deterministic relationship, but these kind of cause and effect are not exactly what I mean by like area and length and breadth. We try to say, for example, the same example what I mentioned regarding the time taken to reach from destination A to B could be affected by the amount of traffic, intensity of the traffic, but that may not be the only reason, so that I can get a typical relationship. So, on an average, if I have a traffic intensity of so and so, my reaching time would be so and so. It is some sort of a summary relationship. It need not be like a deterministic form, because there are a lot of unknown variables which we may not take into account while we model the problem. So, there are extraneous variables which may affect the condition. Therefore, we try to locate, at least can we manage to get a average relationship between these two variables. So, the word average relationship is very much important. It is not only to portray direct relationship between the two variables, but finally, the relationship in terms of the original units of the data, that is what I mentioned. Suppose I take area, you get the squared units, volume cube third power of the unit, whereas if you take a linear measurement, may say length, whatever the measurement, we will take it in the same unit. Hence, the relationship sometime have the same unit or sometime may have in a different transformed units, but as far as regressions are concerned, we take the original units of the data. So, that is what we need to understand from the previous point of view. So, let me summarize quickly. Our intention is wherever possible we take two variables which are related, possibly related, and we try to bring out a mathematical measure which takes an average relationship. On an average, what would be the effect of x on y. So, one more thing I would like to confine for this discussion or this session is I take x and y as the name of the variable. So, that we are looking at what is the relation of y or the change in y with respect to x. So, as I mentioned, there is a eyeball judgment, or through eye we can find out how best the variables are related. So, one mechanism is scatter diagram, which helps to find the way the points for a bivariate distributions are clustered. So, do they show any relationship? So, in the next few slides I am going to illustrate few examples which are extracted from the sources I mentioned, because today with the information age you can take any useful information from the internet where the typical results are easily available. So, I just acknowledge those sources then and there. Still, I would like to show you some pictures which will explain the meaning of linear regression or curvilinear. So, linear generally refers to a straight line model, and it has analytically an equation of degree 1 in the variables. So, a linear regression, and if anything is not linear, that means degree 1 or it is not a straight line, then it is called curvilinear. So, this is what the examples we could easily understand. So, as I mentioned this x and y, throughout the session I am going to follow that. You could see easily that when x increases, y also increases, and the dots indicate the points collected. So, in our example I could say how much longevity of the study score might increase, but everybody knows that it need not be the case. During the examination there could be some other problem, though the student would have prepared for very long hours, but the score might be low. There may be one or two cases always, but that does not mean that we could say 100% it is not related. At the same time we cannot deterministically define a relation between these two. So, the dots in the diagram indicate the sample collected for the variable x and y. So, it shows when x increases, y also increases. So, there is a term called positive and somehow a linear direction. So, a straight line is trying to plot out over there, and this is again the straight naming linear, but not positive, because when x increases, y attempts to decrease. So, that the relation is reversed. So, it is not a straight line form, something like a parabolic form. So, whatever the curve, we do not have it like a straight line, we call it as curvilinear, or one more term is called non-linear. So, the absence of the linearity, and here nothing can be portrayed very clearly, because there is no direction whether x increases, y increases or vice versa, we do not know. I mean x increases and y decreases like this. So, no direction is typically able to portray, therefore, it may be little dangerous to form any regression based on these kind of variables, we do not know, but sometime the problem may indicate that the variables are not as we expected, maybe in one direction increasing or decreasing. So, this is a general curve, and few more examples like the real time data sets what you can get it from these websites, and you can understand that it is for quality control. So, percentage of volunteers attending the orientation program and how much the satisfaction score. So, there is a trend, it moves in a direction. So, that is what I told you, somewhere this kind of changeover may be there, but by and large we try to find out that there is a linear relation. That means, when x is trying to increase, the possibility of y also tends to increase, but there is no necessity to understand or anything on the variable, just to follow that these are all the way a scatter diagram can be understood or read. So, that is there any possible relation exist. So, other variables are just to explain or illustrate, and similarly the age and pricing. So, age increases, price of the car would is generally expected to low from the price of the purchase. So, that is a general idea. So, here also you could find out that when the year when the year is moving up, the price starts down, that is quite expected. So, these are all the general variable, but still we collect some data and then plot it in a diagram called scatter diagram, through which we are able to understand whether such relations are meaningful. So, I could go for some straight line, and this is again one more example, income versus the health status, and there are many points clustered here, scattered or clustered. So, the terminology, what we try to do is we try to fit a line of this kind y, that is the reason. So, we collect some data from as you could illustrate, understand from the previous charts, we have data through which we collect some, we plot some diagram, and then we try to find out is there any relation. Well, we are able to understand there is a relation. There is a mathematical formula for that, what we call it as correlation, through which also we are able to calculate whether it is positively correlated or negatively correlated with r equal to 1, that is correlation equal to 1 or minus 1, 0. There are numerical summaries also exist to understand the degree of the relationship, no doubt in it. So, that is a different story. After completing the idea of correlation, when we get into regression, what kind of regression is appropriate? Okay, straight line. Why? The idea is somehow these points are plotted over a straight line, so that the points above the line and points below the line are more or less same. I am not counting exactly, but eyeball judgment. Okay. Through experience we could say yeah, more or less the point, and the line is extended, the line is chosen because you can extend this line beyond the x axis also. So, I can just extend and then what I call, I can go beyond the time period, what we call it as prediction. So, we have just observed what is the need for understanding the nature of the relationship and how do we go to a future data, what we call it as predict. So, a straight line is drawn or any curve is drawn to understand the relationship between the two variables and extend beyond the sample data, which can be applied for prediction. So, this is a graphical illustration of the idea what we plan. We will have a short break. After the break, we will have the idea how to write it in a mathematical form. Welcome back to the discussion on the regression. So, we just understand how scatter diagram helps us to find out the possible relationship between a bivariate distribution. Let us take our task with the help of mathematical form, what we call it as line of best fit. So, just I recall from the previous diagram, there is a line which is drawn over the points which are scattered over in this segment, and if we just ignore this line from your eye for a moment, the points are moving in this direction, it shows a inclination. So, I just draw a line in such a way that by keeping in my mind, it is a very much a vague exercise that doesn't, we don't bother as of now, in such a way that the number of points above the line and below the line are more or less equal. Second thing, the distance between each point and the line should be as minimum as possible, so that later the whatever the prediction you are going to do will have minimum error. This is the idea, this is a common sense. I am going to fit a line or curve, so that the line will be very much best fit for the available data set. What is the meaning of best fit? The meaning of best fit is the distance between each point, whatever you observed in the scatter diagram, and the straight line should be as minimum as possible. There will be definitely certain error when we try to regress it back. So, we want to have a best fit means we should minimize the error. So, that is how the idea is being framed. So, I am not going to say this is the mechanism through which I am getting a best fit, we do it in the other way around. Try to minimize the error through which you can achieve the line of best fit. So, mathematically let us find out what we try to do. So, line that gives the best estimate to the value of one variable. Look at the sentence framed or the words like this. We are not calculating anything, we are trying to estimate, that is something different from typical mathematical calculation. I am not going to calculate, I am going to estimate. So, what is the difference? Estimation is bound to have error. So, I am trying to estimate whether tomorrow will get rain, whether I will catch the train, or whether the students will get a mark of above 50. These are all a process of estimation where the errors are quite natural. So, how my estimation could be better? The very simple way is try to minimize your error by some means. So, that is what here also we try to do. So, as far as the notations are concerned, I mentioned already, I take x as independent or regressor, that will affect the value of y. So, naturally the name is dependent, y depends on x. So, as far as the line of regression, so that we are going for a linear regression form, line of regression of y on x, I think the terminology is quite straightforward. I am going to estimate y based on the value of x is given in a straight line format. So, a plus b x, where a is the intercept and b is the slope, which will be in charge for the rate of change in y with respect to x. So, a typical straight line. We need to find out an estimate for a and b. So, whatever I talked in a general language, say I want to minimize the error, how I am going to do? This is my typical equation through which I will estimate then principle of least square says that we want to minimize the sum of the squares of y from their estimated values. So, this is your actual data, this is your expected data or estimated data. So, I am finding out the difference between those two and then square it. Why the square has come? The square is very simple. It takes the actual distance, because sometime the actual value will be above the estimated value or vice versa. In either case, suppose on an average we try to have these values or this difference, then possibly it may tend to 0. So, I think the graph you can once again recall. I am trying to fit a line in such a way that distance or above below line would be more or less same. So, magnitude wise either one would be plus, another could be minus. So, their actual sum or absolute sum might become 0. So, we are trying to get only the square of those terms and we would like to minimize those points. So, now I try to devote certain time for getting this equation in a typical minimization using the calculus approach, where we get little mathematics over there. So, my intention is E equal to summation of y I minus a minus b into x I. So, for each y I am getting an estimated and I find the difference, then square it, that is the idea. So, this has to be minimum. So, what is the idea for minimization? As far as mathematics is concerned, we need to get the first derivative should be made. Say for example, here there are two variables. So, I am going to do partial derivative later, but for formula sake I just to find that you have to solve this equation. If there are two unknowns like this a and b, then I have to differentiate partially with respect to a and then partially with respect to b, and then we proceed to equate to 0. So, that we will get some expression over that. So, a straight derivative dou E by dou A. So, I hope you are able to understand why this d becomes suddenly dou. The idea is we have two variables. So, it is twice of 2 times summation of y I minus a minus b into x I, then derivative of this expression with respect to a. So, there is no a, 1 and then 0, therefore, you have minus 1. So, ultimately when this becomes equal to 0, I am going to equate dou E by dou A equal to 0. This implies summation of y I minus a minus b into x I equal to 0. Hope 2 into minus 1, ultimately minus 2 cannot be made 0. So, allow summation to run over all the values. There are n times you are going to allow the summation. So, n a, b is a constant as far as summation is concerned, equal to 0. That becomes summation of y I equal to n a plus b into summation of x I. So, one of the important equation what we call it as normal equation. So, this will help you to calculate or estimate the value of a and b. So, what we are trying to do is we can calculate a straight away. So, I just make use of this relation summation of y I equal to n a plus b into summation of x I. I divide by n throughout. So, summation of y I is nothing but average y bar equal to a plus b into summation of x I by n would become x bar. Ultimately, a equal to y bar minus b into x bar. So, I get a relation for a, but for getting b this idea is not so easy. I will once again depend on the same equation summation of y I equal to n a plus b into summation of x I. So, what I try to do is I can multiply with the x I all this relation summation of x I into y I equal to a into n into summation of x I plus b into summation of x I the whole square. So, I get one more equation now, and already I have summation of x I. So, I try to eliminate these two equations, so that I will get the value of b. So, b will be calculated as covariance of x comma y divided by variance of x. So, to be more precise, I just want to have a equal to y bar minus b into x bar, and b will be obtained as covariance of x comma y divided by variance of x. So, precisely this is n into sigma x I y I minus sigma x I into sigma y I whole divided by n times sigma x I square minus sigma x I whole square. So, once we get b, the first step is to get b. This is the first step and this is the second step. So, what we require ultimately is these two quantity, and then we get this. Of that we have y bar and x bar. These are all auxiliary items we need to remember. It is nothing but summation of x by n, and y bar is summation of y by n. So, once the values of x I and y I are sampled out from like the dots in the diagram, we can calculate all these quantities, so that they can be plugged into the formula for b first and then again to a. So, that we can get, but formally we are very much interested in calculating the regression coefficients, what we have seen as b. B is what we call it as regression coefficients. So, once we have observed the mathematical relationship, how we get the value of b and a to form a linear relationship between two variables, bivariate relations, let us try to find out a quick example where I supply all these calculations. So, remember how we computed b. This is the given data, and I calculated x square, y square, x y. So, square of x is the straight 1, 6 square is 36, and so on and so forth. The value of y squared 9, 25, 8 square 64, etc. The last column indicates the summation of each row, where we require x, y, summation y, and again. The last row here indicates product of x into x and y, 3 into 1, 6 into 5, 5 into 4, and so on so forth. Finally, we get the summation of all the columns which are required to plug into the formula for regression coefficient. Yeah, there is a slight change when we find out in the derivation and the formula here. It is very simple. Remember, we attempted to derive a formula for regression of y on x. From the values of x, I am trying to estimate the value of y. So, the symbol we try to put like this: regression coefficient of y on x, y. In the sense, the reason for is usually this relation can be reversed also. Regression coefficients of x on y is also possible, where we just change the role of a and b in the given equation, y equal to a plus b x. So, once we have all these details collected from the table, I have b y x as minus 0.2121, then x bar and y bar are very much same, because you could find out that summation of x is 55 and summation of y is also 55. So, that I have a single attempt to calculate their means 55 divided by 10. Then I plug it into the point slope form, y minus y bar equal to b x y into x minus x bar. Some arithmetic we can try to do simple things. I just multiply this constant with this to get minus into minus plus 1.6656. Then I transpose this minus 5.5 to right hand side, I add, finally I get a mathematical relation. So, I get a straight line beyond the point also now. So, if x is limited to 0 to 10, I can plug x equal to 5 or 10 or 20 even beyond x, then I estimate what is the value of y. I never say we calculate the value of y. Summarizing all this discussion today, we try to understand what is the need for getting degree and the nature of the relationship. So, statistics is all about to give these things, especially when there are minimum two variables where there could be a possible cause and effect relationship. We try to understand their average relationship through linear regression, a straight line regression. So, through the principle of least square, we try to find out the equation for line of best fit which minimizes the error. Through the principle of calculus, we try to understand all these things. So, an example which tries to give you how it has to be calculated. More examples and my reference also give an idea that this could be a better text for these kind of courses. And there is a problem follows for this idea of finding out the line of best fit or line of regression x on y or y on x based on the given two or given a pair of bivariate relationship. Thank you.